To this week's Sincast. Sincast. Where we talk about a bunch of different stuff. Junior.
Gaming, entertainment, stuff like what you like and stuff and like.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
You can laugh, it's fine. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah. What you what you do?
What am I? What, sir?
What you do? You tell me what you did. What you been playing, man?
Well, recently, obviously, Ark with Josh and Alex.
Hi.
And a lot of Assassin's Creed, actually.
Yeah, you've been heavy into that game.
Yeah.
Still good. Got a good replayability.
I've capped out on my level, and I'm still trying to pretty much 100% complete
the game.
The game, yeah. I mean, between strongholds, the takeover, and there's just a lot. I missed the Trials of the Gods. I'm sad about that.
Twice.
Eventually, twice. But yeah, Assassin's Creed, Ark. Been getting back into Skyrim again, doing the Switch.
Yep.
You know what you should miss?
Pretty good over there.
Playing with me, because you don't play with me anymore.
He plays fighting games.
That's not true. Okay, well, get to me.
Well, you've been playing other things, yeah, but those are mostly single player, by the way.
What?
Darksiders.
Well, Darksiders. You've been a big Darksiders.
Okay, I'm gonna hold off until it's
I beat to it. Nick, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
What have you been playing?
Lately, I've just been jumping around a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't really been able to stick to one thing.
I got your ass handed to you in Brawlhalla.
I did.
It suck.
It was a sad time.
Was it like 4 in a row?
Four major losses.
Out of how many matches?
Out of like a lot. You mean my total?
Yeah.
I mean, out of total wins, I have about 420.
Anyway.
You're retarded.
Smoke weed, gay.
Anyway, so I also decided to jump back on Darksiders 2, and I beat that in preparation for Darksiders 3, although that's a ways away.
Yeah, and this was the remastered, right?
Yeah, the definitive edition.
Definitive, whatever.
And after playing it, it kind of inspired me to go back to play the first one again.
Right, and so, when the War Mastered edition.
Yes, and for the longest time, I didn't understand why a lot of people said that the first game was better than the second game. Because I guess I went into the second game looking at it like, oh, this is just improved on everything in the first one. Yeah. But as I got near the end of the second game, I started seeing, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see what they changed. Because it was little things that made the game either more difficult or just different in a way that I didn't really like as much.
So you had beaten the first one before you played Definitive Edition.
Yes.
And now you're going back.
Right. The first one I beat on PS3.
Right.
And then I beat the second one on PS4. And then now I went back to the first one on PS4.
Okay.
And I think overall, because I know I talked to you about this, Alex, I think I like how War plays more than Death.
War himself?
Yeah, just how his character works.
Okay.
And
he's a little bit more aggressive or something like that?
It's part of it is one of the things I observed was that Darksiders 2 is a little more like Bloodborne, whereas Darksiders 1 is more like Dark Souls. Whereas
okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because War
similar but different. Yeah.
Right, War isn't as much about dodging and then attacking. He can actually tank attacks and can block, whereas Death can't. Death is all about dodging.
He's
and then
squishy.
attacking. Exactly.
So 2 different play styles.
Yeah, and I think Death is really, really cool, and I really like this character, and I can't wait to see him in the next one with the rest of them.
Yeah.
Well, not in 3, but the one where they're all together.
That's probably going to be
It's
4.
going to happen.
It's probably going to be 4.
It'll be 5.
They still have to do Strife.
Yep.
Unless
Basically,
Strife is like the main set piece of the fourth one, and then they have other characters come in later.
Well, yeah,
That'd
that's
be
what
cool,
that's what I
too.
mean. Like they would focus on him mostly, but then they'd have other characters come in. You could play as a co-op-ish mode
I've looked into that.
because it depends on the sales of the third one.
Right. This is true. This is true. Because they've stated that their plan, if everything goes the way they want, they're going to do 3 with Fury, 4 with Strife, and then 5 will be the end war. It'll be all of them together.
This plan was it before THQ got nixed?
They talked about it then, and they've mentioned it in interviews with THQ Nordic.
Is it still Visual Games?
It's Gunfire Games now, but that's comprised of a lot of the same people.
Visual, okay.
Yeah. So it's still in good hands. It's still in good hands. I'm not. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like it because it's it's not the same guys.
Fury.
You don't like how she's.
I don't like
designed,
her.
right?
I'm not gonna say it's a bad game because I haven't played it.
Right.
I don't like her design.
A lot of people were jumping on that pre-alpha video.
Yeah, it's
so stupid.
I don't like how they have to focus on the mechanics of how her hair flows. It's fucking hair. It's static hair. That's all it is. It's nothing crazy.
Well, if like Strife or what's her name, Fury. Like her hair is like in like stories, just in general. Like if they're pulling, depending on where they're pulling their inspiration from, she's always had like the same hair.
Yeah.
Like always, like so they almost had to do it, but they didn't need to make it so where it flows on the wind with all your graphics.
Her hair. Okay, have you ever seen The Incredibles?
Yeah.
Her hair reminds me of the villain from The Incredibles, where he's got that orange hair.
Yep.
It looks exactly like that, and every time I see her, I just think of that guy coming up and going every time.
That's where she's supposed to look like that, though. She's a ridiculous looking character.
But we'll see how she plays.
The reason for all that is it plays in with her magic. Like they were talking about how
I get
she does like a magic, like a fire spell or something like that. Her hair like lights on fire and it has like it's supposed to be like a character in itself.
Well, isn't her primary weapon a whip?
It's a whip, yeah.
And
and
she
then
can use different elements.
Oh, okay.
It's
it's enchanted almost.
It's hot.
It's hot whip.
Anyway,
but I from what I've been hearing, they're going to take everything that was good about the first one and good about the second one, and they're going to try to merge it into one.
Okay.
But it'll play a little more like the first, or not play, but it'll feel more like the first one when you're exploring.
Okay.
So
See, for me, the best thing about the second one was the gear. I love the gear drops. I like randomness like that. It just makes it funner. Loot. Loot. It's always fun to get loot.
Right, exactly. That was actually one of the things that was kind of up in the air with some people.
Yeah.
A lot of people loved it. Some people were like, I don't really care about the gear. I just want to play the game.
Yeah.
Which you can still do while picking up the gear.
Right, exactly.
Just put it on.
It's one of those little things that it doesn't really matter.
People.
Anyway,
been playing anything else? Besides, we got Brawlhalla.
Darksiders.
The first one?
You
were playing the first one.
Yeah,
the first one.
Borderlands?
Borderlands 2, yeah.
I've been jumping back on Borderlands here and there. It's really, really hard.
Yeah.
With my assassin now.
Yeah.
Because I guess I got used to how easy it was going through the first playthrough. And then coming back on the last playthrough, I'm like, I'm so squishy. Like, he's meant to have a team.
Yeah.
And so...
Well, you can play him solo. You just got to
play him. I need to have better gears, is what it is.
His main thing for solo is melee.
Yeah, you gotta keep killing people.
Yeah, I gotta get
the sniping aspect though is really meant as a team though.
Yeah, unless you get really good with it and you get the right gear for it. Like if I get that persnipple or whatever it's called. Pumpernickel.
Anyway,
what'd you say? Purse nipple?
Purse nipple.
Persnickety.
Alex, how you doing?
Good.
I'm good. What you been playing?
A lot of things. Arc mainly have been taking up a lot of time.
That's
when I'm laying in bed, sometimes I'll play Zelda. I'm getting closer to getting towards that beat. I wouldn't say 100% completion, but I'm almost ready to fight Ganon.
Yeah.
I fought all the calamities. I'm on the last Divine Beast right now.
Okay.
Nice.
Fighting the Thunder or Lightning Calamity Ganon.
You run into any of the dragons yet?
Uh-uh.
There's dragons in there.
There's one
like I said, the game's so fucking huge.
Yeah, there's one on top of the snowy mountain, and then you have the water dragon. I don't think you can do anything with the water dragon though.
You just see it.
The one that flies and goes back up in the air.
Yeah.
You
I
can
fought
shoot
a boss.
feather off of it or something.
I fought a
that's right.
worm boss. It's like a mini boss. I was in the calamity, the lightning calamity Ganon. He's located like a desert area, and we're surrounded by a city that only lets women in. It's kind of weird. But outside their city, if you kind of go forward, there's like a bunch of weird rocks, and there's a small worm, like a big death worm, going in and out, and he's hard. I still haven't figured out how to beat him. I'm stuck on that right now. But,
okay.
After that, I've been playing a lot of Neo. I went back, fought this boss that killed me 1,000 times. Like first or second try, I beat him.
Yep.
I was like,
that's always how it is.
I'm like, that was not terrible.
Did you guys beat the main game already? Or are you playing the add-on or the expansion for it?
There's a lot of shit.
No, I haven't even gotten to any of the Twilight level yet.
Yeah, the Twilight levels, I'm doing one right now.
I was thinking about picking that up. It's on sale right now. It's like 30%
is a
off.
fantastic.
It's like, I would call it a cross between like if you're just Ninja Gaiden and Dark Souls.
Right.
Dude, it's
the dodging system is really fluid. The attacking is really fluid. You got different stances. The creatures and the environments are just gorgeous. It's a feudal Japanese environment. Everything's corrupted and really good storyline, sub levels. I mean, some of the fights in that game are pretty good.
Really good voice acting, good animation.
Yep.
It's very
smooth, 60 FPS.
It's very Japanese, like where how they move when they turn. They like do that shoulder turn where they're like like that. Like,
yeah, and then they carry their sword behind them.
Yeah, really good.
Yep.
Really good game.
So playing that, playing Mario. I want to play Xenoblade Chronicles now that you guys mentioned it.
I have to wait till Christmas.
I probably will too.
I have to wait until I'm not playing anything else.
God, we've got so many games right now.
Oh, I'm really excited for the Ark expansion coming out.
Aberration.
We all are going to be playing Aberration.
Destiny 2
Destiny 2 expansion.
Yeah, oh my god.
It'll probably be those two games for a good while.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
For me. And then I'll probably hop on Borderlands every once in a while.
Wait, Destiny and what?
Ark.
I'll be switching between those two games too, for sure.
More
Destiny.
Considering probably more Destiny because they've changed a lot of stuff, and that's very interesting.
Something new. We love Destiny too. God, we played that nonstop.
It's a good game.
We used to have raid Sundays.
It's a good game.
Good, man. Good shit.
Yeah, we'll have to get back on it because there's the new raid layer on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, we still haven't beat the raid.
I know.
Close. We got pretty damn close.
We got really
do you
close.
Know?
It always seems like we always drop off a person of our grade group, and then they don't know what to do. We have to retrain them, and then that takes forever.
We have so many coins. It's not even funny. You know how much shit we could buy?
I actually have almost a full set of raid gear now. That I have the gloves, and because I just got it from drops.
Oh right,
the chests.
I've got nothing but weapons from the raids, so I've gotten that assault rifle at least 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, I've gotten one chest piece or foot. Can't remember.
I did get a armor. The armor.
Yeah, the armor looks really cool. That's of course where Warlock is different. The armor on the Hunter looks really good. It's gold and maroon.
You got to see the new armor for the DLC coming out. Oh my god!
It's gonna be
so
cool.
Good. It doesn't look all.
It looks futuristic.
Weird. Yeah,
I know
so
Destiny's
good.
in the future, but it looks like
the one thing I questioned was the Iron Banner armor. Iron Banner armor was really fucking.
I got a helmet from that. That's easy drops from Iron Banner. Trust me. That's like the last one.
That's like a thing. It's like a weekly thing, not a weekly thing. Like a event.
Yeah.
So I mean, they'll have different stuff.
You won't. I mean, it's not going to be hard to get that gear. Trust me. I got.
Yeah. Helmet when Iron Banner came out, I just stopped. I was taking a break. I was burnt out because I played it so much.
Well, this time.
So now I wanted to play it again.
They're with this new expansion coming out. They're bringing back ornaments for armor.
Ooh.
And they're not just attached to the piece of armor, and then you get like a token to unlock it. You actually have to earn the ornament to put on it, and you do that for certain things. Like if you want an ornament for the Iron Banner gear, you have to say for example, play 15 matches or win 15 matches in that
Iron Banner
to get an ornament for this chest piece. And it'll be like that for a lot of the gear.
That's like the type of thing I don't understand why they have that in the actual game when it came out, because they had the same problem when they released the first one. Then they added all this cool stuff. Everyone's like, all this stuff is really cool. Can't wait for the second game. They have all this stuff and then they add on it. But no, They literally are repeating the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because of the way games are developed nowadays, is they have to be pushed out.
Well,
and all this stuff is not optimized.
It doesn't help it's Activision, so they're probably like, hey.
It was cool.
Little silence. Back to me. What have I been doing?
What have you been playing, Josh?
I'm good.
Josh.
I have been playing a shit ton of Ark.
A lot.
I want to beat it.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Quote,
that's right.
Quote unquote beat it. I want to kill the bosses.
Yes, that's the only reason we're replaying it. So we want to actually beat that
endgame.
game.
You can't beat.
Yes, you
Ark.
can.
There's no possible way, guys. It's an endless
I'm
terrain.
gonna shove that muffin up your ass.
You don't even play it.
If anybody
and that offends me.
listening right now
personally.
wants me to play Ark, please buy it for me. Thank you. Viewers.
If you really wanted to play it,
if I get it free for Christmas and you don't play it, you're evicted.
You're gonna get what?
Ooh,
oh shit!
I'll never do that, but I'll try.
Wait, whoa! Are you saying?
It is fine with me.
Are you saying that you're getting that for me for Christmas?
I don't know.
Because it's gonna be free.
I don't know. Wait till Christmas.
You have to wait. I got you nothing, by the way, on Christmas Day. Oh, thanks.
I have been playing that. I hopped on some Borderlands 2. I just rented, because I'm not going to buy it, Battlefront 2, and I enjoyed it. As it's installing, you can actually play the arcade mode, which is basically kind of like a bot mode for
I think that's what they
online.
did with the first one, too.
They did not have that.
Well, while the game is installing, you played as, like, Darth Vader.
Oh, in this you play as a grunt or whatever, and you can. It's
really?
like a literal match, yeah. But you can save up points and play as Kylo while you play. From what I played, it was fun. When I played the first one, I played it in first person. I was like, oh man, this is really cool, but it didn't work for me. So in this one, I switched to third person and played it like Battlefront used to be played as, and it made a world of difference.
Yep.
And it is. I played a little bit of the single player. I got to Endor and with the Ewoks and whatnot, and that was really cool. It looks really good. I don't know what the hell's going on. They don't really explain it too well.
It ties in with the first one pretty heavily.
To me, it seems like they are. It seems like they're focused on, hey, look at our facial technology, because she'll take her helmet off and go. And I make this weird
be
face.
staring.
And then she'll put it back on, and after she says something, and it's just like, okay, you want to explain what you're feeling and what the hell's going on? Because I mean, she's like, we can't feel right now. We have to go. It's like, no, you can fucking feel and tell me how you feel about that.
Yeah.
Because I know it takes place at the end of the original, the episode 6.
Yep.
Into episode episode 6 into episode 7.
They see the Death Star get destroyed.
Yeah, it's in between
like,
that. Yeah, and then they're like, oh shit, and it's just like, okay,
they're like, oh my god, my wallet was up there.
what's going on? I think it's because I haven't gotten as very far to find out what's going on. So, but it's very fun. The multiplayer, it's just as fun. If it wasn't for the microtransaction bullshit, it would be a great game.
I heard the campaign was very short.
It is very short.
It's like 4 hours.
Really?
It's supposed to be mainly a multiplayer game. Kind of like, Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 had a very short campaign.
Yeah,
it was,
that
it
campaign,
was terrific.
that
too.
campaign was amazing.
It was
Yeah.
good.
That was
Yeah.
good.
I think, honestly, if it is that good, it doesn't really matter as much how long it is if you enjoy it,
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that, yeah.
So I know a lot of
Unless
people...
it's like 2 hours, then it's like, no, I'm sorry, that was really...
Oh, you mean like,
that was like
what
3 missions.
1884 fucking game?
1886?
1886. It was like...
That game was so good, though.
People think it was pretty shit.
I fucking loved that game. Werewolves set in that time with that, they could work so much with that. It's just very short and very, I don't know,
it's
button heavy, if that context heavy.
Linear.
linear.
Linear
That's
is
the
another good
word.
Yeah.
I was trying to think
linear is
of-
like more open. Linear.
But the story is really good. Did you ever go all the way through
The
end?
Order 18.
It's
I watched my brother
That's
play
what-
it, and
yeah.
I was like, meh.
You can buy it for $5. It's worth it. For $5, it's a steal at $5.
Yeah.
But
It's also like free Trophyville. So if you're into trophies, it's extremely easy to get that platinum.
Trophy hunter.
and you can use those trophies
Or
now
like a trophy
to
whore.
get money.
So anyway, I've been playing that.
Hopefully you guys get back on Battlefield 4. I just rebought that. So.
That's pretty much it. Well,
I
it was a bad time to buy that. I'm in the ARC right now.
Well,
think about it.
I just have that itch for modern shooter right now.
No, it's all good.
I still have mine.
I have to re-download.
I went to sell that a while ago.
Gigs.
25 cents. I was like, yeah, I guess I'll just keep
There's
it.
no way.
That's ridiculous.
That's what it's
They
worth.
sell it for $20.
Thank you, GameStop.
Well, what about Battlefield 1?
I still have that one too.
I still play that, but no one else plays it.
Oh, why don't you?
You looked away. That means you sold it.
Dude, you have never
No,
played
I
that with me, and I've had it literally this whole time.
All you gotta say is, Nick, please play with me.
I did before.
What?
I feel like I don't have that
I
installed
don't-
anymore.
Yeah, we ask you every time with ARC. But,
I don't have ARC. I don't have the game.
I got my fix with Battlefield 1, I think.
Yeah.
And then Call of Duty World War 2.
Yeah, you got rid of that.
I'm really back into mine. Yeah, I didn't look. See, the thing is,
Look.
the thing is with that is, I liked it, but then at the same time, like I can only play so much of it, and I just wouldn't get back into it.
I feel like that's
Yeah, I
that's
know.
kinda how it
I'm
is
going to
with
play
all
the
Call of
game
Duties.
in spurs. I'm never going to get
the
back
campaign.
into Call of Duty.
The
like I
campaign
used to.
was amazing. I loved
Yeah.
the campaign on World War II. Fucking loved it. But
I'm never going to get back into it like the old days.
Yeah, that's
too
what I'm
old.
saying.
But and that's why I can't play Battlefield or anything like that very much, or even Battlefront. And that's why games like ARC appeal to me even more, because it's not like
You relax.
constantly, and
It's
I have to attune my.
It's not a fast pace, so you
agility.
can kind of go at your own pace.
That's why I'm not very good at fighting games. Is because it's very like, okay, I have to attune myself to that and focus on that as much as I possibly can, and there's just too much shit going on right now. So I can try, and I'll buy stuff and I'll try it, but I can't fucking. But with Call of Duty, World War II, I'm taking my sweet ass time. But like if I feel like playing the match, I'll hop on and play a match. I'll get my ass handed to me every time. I don't care. That's the match I played. I'm off. But Battlefield, of course, is a different beast. Tanks and helicopters and battlefield moments, what they like to call it. And that's why we all play Battlefield.
I literally had a game when I first played Battlefield 4 where I was trying to fly helicopters. I went 0 and 35. Everyone's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, trying to fly helicopters. You're like, "Oh, okay."
No.
They know.
It's hard, even on the joystick. Like a computer, it's way harder.
I think I
have to
got
have
used
something.
to that real fast. When I did have an Xbox One, I played Battlefield 4 constantly, and I finally reached level 100, and I kept going to like 124, and I just fucking loved the game. And I want to get back into it again because I don't know, it's just so fun. Modern shooter, I can keep constantly playing that between sniping and vehicles, and I really
the vastness
love the
of
helicopters.
being able to sit on a skyscraper and
Yes.
snipe people, and then
and the
avoid
destruction all
helicopters.
around you just happens. Like it's just
and jump
pure
off the
chaos
building and
sometimes.
parachute and
Right. Yeah,
I mean, the 32 versus 32 thing was just fucking genius. I mean, it's just all out warfare.
Yeah.
I think that's why I wasn't such. I think I played too much Battlefield to even like the Call of Duty multiplayer, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Like I'm so used to
I get it. Yeah.
picking off enemies all around me instead. You know what I mean? A bigger map.
It's a different beast.
Battlefield's all about positioning, and Call of Duty
Oh,
is quick twitch
arcade
ability,
Mhm.
arcade
It's
style,
arcade.
and that's just
That's
a
a good
style
one.
of shooter. It doesn't have to be Battlefield,
Right.
but yeah, Battlefield's you can get in a helicopter and dominate the game if you wanted.
And
So-
I don't know, I'm just excited to get back into it again.
Titanfall's got good
I still
multiplayer
got
too.
that
That's a good one. I did like
that
that.
too.
I think that's one of my favorite shooters, of a long time.
Yeah, the way you can fly around and
We
it
should play
works.
again.
I agree with that. You need to buy that
T2?
game.
We can buy it.
TJ,
for them. It's pretty cheap.
it's downloaded. I didn't buy the disc.
Oh, yeah?
I bought it digitally.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Because
Yeah.
they came out with
Okay.
a bunch of really good free DLC for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of my games actually are digital. So surprisingly, I have more digital than
A lot of
physical
my digital
copies.
library is definitely growing. Like they weren't wrong when they say it's going digital.
I've got like 54 digital games,
Yeah.
so the rest are all physical.
162.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at.
But about Battlefield, I remember for the longest time I came from Call of Duty, I really
I
only
did
played
too.
not World War II.
World at War.
Before
Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare. Modern
World
Warfare
at War
4.
for me, man. Oh.
Or Call of Duty 4. Yeah, I came from that, and that was really my only military shooter that I had played. And so when I got Battlefield 4 and I tried playing it with you guys originally, I was just like, I have no idea what's going on.
It's big.
And you're trying
Definitely
to and
different.
I'm
And
trying
then
to play it
you got more into it
like
'cause
Call of
me and you
Duty.
used to play it all the damn time.
Well, yeah, I don't. It just I didn't play it for a couple of years. You know, even when you guys were playing it, and then it just clicked one day, and I was just like, okay, this is fun. I get it.
It's a lot of fun with friends.
Yeah,
because you can try some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's not really a game I'd play by myself because it's one of those, you know, I'll get my ass kicked, but which is fine. But it's more fun to get my ass kicked with you guys.
And what I'm getting back into slowly is Injustice 2.
Oh man, really?
I can't wait. I cannot wait for the fucking turtles.
Because turtles are coming.
Yes!
And I wanna fight them. Injustice 2.
Hellboy's in there now, isn't he?
Hellboy's in there now.
That's gonna be a crazy fight.
Black Manta's in there. You laugh at Black Manta?
No,
Black Manta.
Why? Because it's black.
No. I thought you said black. I thought you were saying black man. Black man's in there. And I was like,
the Black Man's
it was
in there.
literally the moment you said black man, and then you said "tuh."
Yeah, Black
I don't
Manta.
know. That was stupid.
And then a bunch of other people are in there now. And there's rumored to be more.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. There's a lot.
There's still another fighter pack.
A lot of games are switching to that, like year 2
like
now, year 3.
A live
Yeah.
and living game is what they call
I think
it.
about a season pass, but that's because it was just for the season.
Siege.
Now you have another season.
Yes.
Rainbow Six Siege.
They're in the
I
third
have that
year.
game still.
And they're adding more people
Yeah.
you
They're
can play as.
They're on the third year.
I am very surprised that they're still supporting that game.
It's
That
very
game's still extremely popular,
because
especially
it's
competitively.
very MLG.
Yeah.
So there's that.
MLG,
and then,
bro.
And then, it surprises me that is, but then they can't like focus a couple people for massive games for the Division. Like I want more. Yeah, that's a good game.
The game is good, but it's slowly dying out.
But we needed more on that, and I think if they come out with 2, that'd be
Fix
give us
mistakes.
more. Give us more.
A lot of games did that. Destiny did that. I'm sure these guys will do it.
Yeah. So
Anyway, alrighty. So we're going to talk about a topic about net neutrality.
neutrality.
And how shitty it would be for the whole entire planet.
Alex, explain.
Mainly the USA, but yes, it would be really bad. Essentially, what would happen is right now you pay a base fee for your internet. Essentially, net neutrality would turn it into something similar to cable. You know, cable can charge individually for HBO and stuff like that. That's how that structure's always worked, so it's not that big of a deal. But internet, they would essentially allow them, first of all, your privacy is gone. Your privacy is gone. I mean, most VPNs won't work correctly. I'm sure there'll be some programs that will be able to get around it.
Unless you have something called IP Vanish.
Yes.
Which is what I have.
There's other stuff too. Nordic VPN is one of the good ones.
It could basically force people to pay differently. Like if I was on the internet more than anybody else, and you're on their list, I'm obviously going to get.
Yeah, well, they would essentially charge for sites like Facebook, like $6 a month. No big deal. Twitter, $4 a month. This $5 a month. That $5 a month. You watch porn. Guess what? That's like $20 because that's inappropriate and it's against the Christian name. And so they'd essentially be able to just nickel and dime you legally. They can't do it legally right now, but they would legally be able to nickel and dime you to death. Plus, your privacy's gone. Pretty much, it allows big business to control the way the internet works. Right now, internet's a free range thing that anybody can modify and do their own thing on. But this will make it harder for smaller businesses to post their internet site, to look at stuff, to get information, everything you're going to have to pay for. Everything. Internet's already expensive. But you never can run out of data. But they seem to think they're going to run out of data. I doubt that's the case because I've worked around data centers before. They keep building them all over the place. They have plenty. It's just more money for them. That's all they're doing. That's the only reason this is happening.
Yep. Bullshit.
Some baloney.
Bullshit. What do you guys think about that?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
That for one. That's essentially nowhere in the world can you. Well, I mean, it's only in America, right? That means I'll have to go to.
At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean it's American government.
Yeah.
The bills. I think other countries may have it or some form of it.
Let's move to Canada, man.
Yeah, Canada seems like a good place right now. But I mean, it's whatever. What do you think, Nick?
Mexico and become a drug pusher.
What do you think? Your porn sites you're gonna have to pay for now.
I mean,
They're
I
not free
already
anymore.
pay enough for all that, So
of course.
You'll
So-
be paying
It'll be
more.
extra. Yeah.
and
It being, it doesn't. It's not the site controlling it; it's the company controlling
Right,
you for going to that site. So what's going to happen is you're going to be able to go on and they can't deny you. So you go on and you get a bill, $20 for going on this internet site. You have to pay it.
So
It'll be in the collections if you don't pay it in a month.
it's
What?
it's essentially the same as if you were to go to like a hotel
Yeah.
and watch a movie
Yeah.
there, and then you get charged for it.
And then what it will do too is allow big businesses that can essentially pay to get that done to control what you see, what you watch. I mean, it's just all part of the cog of big business controlling everything, and nobody sees it. I mean, all small companies all around are dropping out there like flies.
Yep, it's bad.
I mean, I guess we'll see.
America, fuck yeah.
I mean, at the same, I was saying, like, I don't think it would go through, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise.
It has to go through a lot of things. You
Yeah.
can legally be stopped. You have the Court of Justice, you have the House, and you have Congress. They can all
I mean,
all do something.
knowing the shit that's gone down the past 2 years, I would be surprised actually. if it
What
didn't
has
pass.
to happen though is
So-
people have to call their congressmen.
And
You can
have
call them.
to
You can call
say
right now.
no. You have to say you do not like it. You have to call your
Yeah.
local mayor or whoever the hell you say.
Say no to net neutrality,
Say
and they're
no
like,
to net
okay,
neutrality.
we have about 2 million no's and like 1,000 yeses. What do we do?
We say no.
Which I'm
Yes.
sure is why it's not going to pass.
So I mean,
People aren't going to be fucking, oh, okay, that sounds okay.
remember it has
Yeah.
to be a majority vote.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm worried about is if it gets to the point where it goes back to Trump after it gets denied, he can just write a executive order, and that can be stopped as well. But it gives the president too much power. But we won't go into the politics of that.
No, we won't talk about
But
that.
yeah, it's something that affects gamers. It could be extra money that we
Big
have to
time.
pay
Big time
for playing PlayStation or Xbox. It may be like a it won't be like, oh, guess what, you're getting charged more now. It'll be like a subtle thing, like you'll see random fees show up on your check.
This is for
All of a
playing
sudden
multiplayer.
yeah.
This is for looking this up online there. This
Yeah.
is for going to YouTube on PlayStation.
This is for streaming Netflix while gaming.
Yeah, you're using too much data. There's only so much data in the world. Okay, whatever.
That's technically not true.
No.
So where does
bullshit.
data go when you're not using it? It goes to the data toilet or something.
Yeah, it goes
The
to
space-time-
data
The
recycling.
data fairy
Data
comes
recycling.
It
and
saves the planet.
That's how we get recycled computers. It's recycled data.
They just push it into some kind of coating, like just
Yeah.
juice it out.
3D
It's like a
prints it.
sausage.
It's like a print. It was like a 3D print.
Yeah, it's just a 3D print sausage. Data sausage.
Yeah, so.
Data sausages.
Anyways, yeah, it's kind
Trademark.
of something I thought we should touch up on as a group because it's a big deal. Nick, what do you think?
all of the stuff you have mentioned so far sounds pretty terrible, and I don't want any of that. I don't want to pay extra for. It's so funny, guys.
I'll tell you after we cut the mic.
Anyway, I think that it would. What?
Okay, cool.
It's really gonna screw us gamers up.
Yeah, I can't pay any more than I already pay
Yeah, it's
for
bad.
stuff. It's
Bad for business.
It's real bad. It's bad.
You play JRPGs more than maybe, I don't know how often Josh plays it, but more than anybody I know.
Play more than he does.
Oh, really?
I just don't play.
You're always trying to get me to play JRPGs, so I'm like,
It's not everybody's cup of tea, man. I'm not gonna say, hey, man, you'd like Tales of Vesperia, one of the greatest games ever made, but you won't play it. No, you don't like that kind of stuff.
There is one game that I have thought about seeing if I could get him to play because it's older, but it's got the difficulty level that he likes in games. Alundra.
Oh,
I think
You'd like Alundra.
if you actually played Alundra, you'd really like it.
I wouldn't consider that a JRPG though.
It is.
I consider that a Zelda type game,
It is. I mean, that's still an RPG.
but it's not a JRPG.
Well, it's Japanese style RPG.
Zelda's not a JRPG.
It's an adventure JRPG.
A JRPG is like Tales or
The
Final
JRPG is
Fantasy.
really, really open. It's a very open term.
Would you consider Breath of the Wild a JRPG?
I wouldn't even consider it an RPG, though. Maybe it's a J adventure.
It's but
because you don't level up and stuff.
Right, you
Get-
Because
you don't level up in Alundra.
In Alundra, you get items that you use, and you
it's
use
like
items to
Zelda.
that's
you
like
get
Zelda.
you get these like
the new Zelda, yeah.
you get these diamonds, which are kind of like the hearts in Zelda.
Oh, okay.
like-
yeah.
And so So you'll have like big diamonds, and then you'll have the little diamonds, and they signify like smaller hits.
Use a guide.
Well, I think the
Fucking
term
yeah.
RPG has got lost because it's role-playing game. So
It's
literally, that's every
so-
game ever. You
True.
can role-play any game.
It's true. It's true.
RPG was defined by Dungeons and Dragons because it's literally a role-play. Quite literally, you play a role.
But yeah, in the end, the point is, I really think you'd like it because it's a difficult game. You have to like really try to figure out what you're supposed to do next. The story's excellent. It's
Excellent.
Well,
I like the view. It's kind of like top down, kind of like a Chrono Trigger.
kind of like at an angle looking down.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's got one of the darkest stories I've ever played.
Good game, classic game, hard
Yeah,
game.
yeah. There's a thing that if you die so many times that this
Okay.
you can get this thing called the Sword of the King, and it's the best sword in the game. You get it because you die so many times that the game's like taking pity on you, and it kills pretty much every enemy in one hit, except bosses. But very, very, very fun game.
EA said that linear single player games are dead.
Yep.
Now, the funny thing is one of the like co-bosses of the main guy of EA, she worked on Uncharted 4 and agreed.
What? That's some bull honky right there.
Now, if that isn't
That's stupid. What?
She was like, I don't like Uncharted 4 because there's no multiplayer.
Uncharted 4 is like
it's
nearly one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah, like I was explaining earlier. I mean, Last of Us wasn't popular at all. Come on, you know that. Uncharted wasn't popular at all. Until Dawn wasn't popular at all.
No.
No, those three weren't popular whatsoever.
No, not at all.
But what
Fuck, man.
EA was saying that
Bloodborne's not popular either.
no dark. Yeah, no. I think is Bloodborne more linear than
It's a little unlinear, but you still have to go through certain pathways to make it non-linear.
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's stupid that they said they've slowly been trying to change the genre of their games. But I'm pretty sure Star Wars, just Battlefront 2 came out and has a linear story.
Yeah, it's got a linear story. The worlds are a little bit open.
Yeah.
But it's still giving you a waypoint, kind of like Call of Duty, where you go follow the yellow dot. It's
Well,
like
I could see other people's standpoint to saying that they're dead because the games you usually see that come out are open world. I mean, they're more open than anything like New Zelda for the Switch, Assassin's Creed. I mean, all of these new games.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
And I get this. I get their viewpoint on a lot of that because a lot of the games coming out are.
I get their thought process on it.
But they're not dead. I mean,
no, they're not. They're never going to be.
There's still people
I don't get it.
Like I said, the most popular games: Uncharted 4, Until Dawn, The Last of Us.
I don't get it. That makes me very worried for Anthem, man.
Very popular.
Although I know Anthem's going to be like open world. I know that, but that makes me. Their mentality is making me worried for Anthem.
More open.
Right.
More open.
Well, like loot boxes, loot crates. Oh, you want this gear? Here. It's going to be real hard to get it.
Oh,
this will make it a little bit easier with the microtransactions, and then the whole. Oh, we don't really care about the story in it. We just care about the experience. Well, I want to know why I'm in that world.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be like, "Here's your friends, go have fun." Like that. That's fun to an extent. I got to have a goal.
You have to have structure so you can drive you to the later parts of the game.
In EA, it's EA. How many times have they been wrong?
Every time. They don't listen to their fan base.
No.
They pretend they do.
Yeah, they pretend they do.
They-
and then
they-
they're like, "Oh no, sorry, we were."
They
listening
look
the whole
at,
time."
and then it's going to change now because the loot boxes destroyed their stock. But until recently, people were still buying their games and people were still investing in them, and they were still making money. So like, I don't know what these guys are talking about. They're the loud mind. They're the loud minority. We're just going to go with what these guys say.
Armchair developers.
Yeah, they're Twitter. It's just Twitter. It's just internet.
It's just them being fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah. Those aren't popular at all. You're totally right.
Well, this Battlefront 2 fiasco definitely helped our situation because people were just not. Nobody wants the game. Like nobody wants to get into that
because of the $120.
Nobody wants to fucking get into that, and because of that, why would I buy your next game?
There's a lot of pictures out there of people who saw the stock after Black Friday, and
oh my god,
some of the only games that were left over were Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it's just like you guys, they need to learn their lesson hard.
And
it's just one thing. It's just one thing after another. Taking down popular businesses, completely destroying video game franchises. I mean,
well, I think what it's going to come down to is the company needs to make money, and they're seeing that microtransactions give you a whole lot of money, and then there's the option of raising the base game price, which is when games went from $50 brand new to $60 brand new. I can see them pumping it up to 70 or 75 for new games coming out because they need to. If they can't do microtransactions because everybody's pissed off about it, they have to do something to get their money back from the development costs.
Well, it never used to be like that. That's the thing.
I know.
It used to be you buy the game and then in the future you're going to get this free too because we're cool.
Yeah.
You know. But now it's just like, we'll give you half the game, and the other half of the game is going to be DLC, and then that's going to be cut in half and turned into microtransactions.
It's because they can't pay their developers for the amount that they need to get paid, so
they try to spread it out like butter as far as they can.
Spread it out so they can pay for that content that comes later instead of waiting until everything is done, including the DLC, and then paying your developers and working on the next game while those are released in chunks.
Right.
And it's gotten way out of hand, and the whole linear thing is just complete bullshit.
It's just anything that comes out of their mouth, really, pretty much.
That's shit. Lately, they were doing okay for a time. I liked Mass Effect 2.
And then they took down Mass Effect 3. Then they took down, what was it, Visceral? Don't
bring it up.
That was one of the greatest moments Josh could ever receive,
dude.
Then microtransactions. Now they're just splurting.
That
was such a good IP. You had oh my god.
They're doing the same big business stuff. It's the same thing Walmart's doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminate everybody, corner the market. Nobody can say no to your stuff because you're the only game company that makes that type of game.
I mean, they didn't necessarily shut it completely down. They just brought a lot of their employees over from Visceral.
Mm-hmm.
And did that at the same time, just completely shut
it. Yeah, they shut down Visceral because they don't want it to be seen separate. They want their game to come out, but that could kill them because people are now no longer going to buy games because it's EA. So they're going to release Dead Space 4 maybe. Who knows?
Dead Space 4.
That'll never happen.
Maybe not. If it does, though, it's going to be EA-ish. And people will be like, I'm not going to buy that until I see the reviews.
You want this cool gun or this cool alien? Guess what? You're going to pay extra for it.
It's in next season.
EA already started dipping their hand too much into Visceral's pot because they were saying, well, okay, you did really good with the first Dead Space and the second Dead Space, but now we need to have a multiplayer. Now we need to make it more actiony.
And 2 had multiplayer. They added it in 2.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, from what I understand, Dead Space 1 came out of the blue, and that wasn't from Visceral. That was actually from EA Red Bush or Redwood. And then they handed it off to Visceral Games, or either they branched off and made Visceral Games, something like that. And then they gave them a bigger budget for number 2, and they were able to do much more liberal things with it, much more gory death animations and things like that. And then that didn't make as much revenue back as they poured into it, and so they wanted to make 3, but then they made their expectations way too high for 3. They I don't know how much they poured into it, but they wanted to make like $6 million back or something like that in revenue. There was no way they were going to make $6 million back on that game. No way. Even on a good run, there was no way. There's not enough fans for Dead Space to warrant that huge amount. Like, right. Dead Space is a great game, but it's not Resident Evil. It's its own thing. You have to play 1, 2, and 3 to understand.
Well, they're establishing a name brand with Dead Space, though. Dead Space 3 got a lot more fans. The first 2 were like so, I don't know what you would call it, non-mainstream. I guess they were the originals. People weren't really into them. Dead Space 3 came out. A lot of people played that. Like, a lot of people played that. Games, and then they went back and played the first 2. Now you have a cult base. Yeah. And then if you have, if you advertise it enough, Dead Space 4, I think, would be
Well, it's
a pretty
because
good seller.
it's the games that you never think would be popular. Like Fallout 3 was the same way, Dead Space is the same way, and then
New Vegas.
Yeah, and more of those same games came out, and then people started noticing the past.
Yeah,
and which happens a lot.
Yeah, it does happen.
It's just really sad to see EA. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, but they've come out and said they don't have Dead Space 4 planned at all.
they have to have motivation to do so. Oh my god, I missed Dead Space series, and all of a sudden, people requesting it. And then that's when
people
they make
are
games
requesting
like that.
it.
They're focusing more on multiplayer aspects.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, that's what makes me afraid for Anthem.
Yeah, since linear games aren't as popular. So.
Oh right, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
It literally feels like they're like a mobster standing over this IP with a gun. It's like, oh, you better make this money back, and there's no way.
I guarantee you, any kind of money, God of War will outsell anything EA comes out with.
Yep.
God of War 4. Yep. And that is what? A linear game.
A single player linear game with high action.
Don't play fucking
and an amazing story, most likely.
Well,
which is why they made their first Battlefront. Because this guy, the new guy who took over 3 years ago, he's like, yeah, no, we're not putting a story mode in the first Battlefront. No one likes single player linear anyways.
Yeah.
We're just going to make it strictly
multiplayer.
But
it pisses people off because it's how you get into the characters. And
guess what it did? It pissed a lot of fucking people off. Where's the fucking story mode? Where's the single player mode on Battlefront?
Yep.
It just goes to show how truly detached they are from their actual fans. If they actually listen to people, which yes, they did add in this new story mode and all that, but I don't know. I feel like it wasn't enough for some people.
And the only reason they even took down that microtransaction shit is because they were being investigated. Not
temporarily,
because fans,
yeah.
Not because fans did hate it, but they didn't take it down because the fans. They just we'll make it that way to seem like we listen to our fans. No, it's because they were getting fucking investigated by, I think, the FCAA or something like that. It's like the video game, some video game thing that they were...
Whatever the hell they call the people that do the E and the T and
the
N and all that.
The ratings. The SRB.
SRB.
Yeah, they were investigating them about their whole microtransactions thing and how...
That's pretty much gambling.
Yeah, and how...
You're paying money to put a gamble on getting something
so
good.
They temporarily shut their shit down. Temporarily, like they said. Yeah. Not because they listened to the fans, but because they were pretty much forced to. So
because they got scared, because they know they're doing something wrong. And now here it is in UFC 3.
Now they're focusing on that. Yeah. That's a big thing now.
That's already a not popular game. Why would you even try to push it into that?
They're literally just targeting games, man. Blizzard is kind of scared with that shit too.
Yeah, Blizzard's thinking about getting rid of the loot boxes because all this they don't want to have this happen to them, even though they do it the right way with the cosmetics.
But they've seen how fucked EA got by a lot of gamers.
Well, and now it's becoming legally where loot boxes are a gambling thing, and I don't think it was ever meant to. I think it was meant to be like a fun. Well, you don't know what you're going to get.
EA just ruined it by if you buy this, you're going to be more powerful than the people that actually did play.
Yeah. What they need to do is they need to add an in-game only currency that you can't buy, you can't do anything, and then spend that on loot boxes or gear or whatever. And that way, spending real money on this shit it's
illegal.
I gotta stretch out my legs. I'm getting cramps.
I'm way back here.
When you think about it, it really is considered gambling. Not with a lot of games. Obviously,
if you use real money.
Yeah. Well, unless it's cosmetics or anything, that's like.
Well, even if you use real money for cosmetic,
it's not
still
going to
gambling.
It's not going to make you.
It's not. The fact it won't make you stronger, but it's still the legal gambling aspect of it.
Yeah,
it's still gambling.
Yeah, because I guess you're buying the base game.
But if you use the in-game currency, it doesn't count as gambling because you're not using real money.
Right.
Buy loot boxes.
I've read that it's not actually gambling unless you can make real money back out of it. So. Although it still is very similar to gambling, and a lot of people were worried about the fact that these games are in the hands of children, and it can
loot boxes.
Gambling.
That's the problem.
See, the thing is anything considered a random prize or random win by paying for it is considered gambling. Loot boxes.
It doesn't have to be money
raffle.
back.
Yeah,
you can win stuff
like a raffle.
Like EA, you can win more powerful gear,
right,
and beat people and continue to make
You're not going to know if you're going to roll.
The original Diablo 3
you're not going to know if you're
auction
roll.
market. Remember that?
That's right. Yeah,
was like that.
Yeah,
Blizzard almost did start a big shitstorm.
They got their ass handed.
Well, see, you're not going to roll for something.
People did not like that.
You're not going to roll for something specific. You're rolling for something random. That's what makes it.
God, I hate that store. Oh. That
Do you guys remember when Diablo 3 first came out? There was a real money auction house.
Really?
money auction
For
house.
$100, you can buy the most powerful weapon in the game.
And that's it.
They took that shit down.
Someone.
It went,
yeah,
it went
gone.
more
It's gone.
expensive. There was something that got up to $1,000, and multiple people bought it.
That's ridiculous.
And literally, like, the weapon was just 1,000 damage. And they didn't have, like, before they really started updating it, they didn't have any special effects. It was just, here's a sword, has lightning damage. It's really strong. Here, you want it?
Thunder Fury.
Yeah. It's like, for $100? No, I'm going to not play this game. Ever.
So they took it.
They took it out, and they fired a bunch of people.
They fired a
And
bunch of people, and
quit.
the game, I think, is at the pinnacle for
Finally, they
Diablo
reached.
3. It is so good.
It's
I love
pretty
that
fun.
game. I love that game.
People are waiting, man.
Can't wait
It's
for
gonna come
either
out next.
something new. Just give me something new. I don't care
Yeah,
what.
remember Blizzard tricked you like, oh my god, it's something cool. Boom, card game. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Valve.
Wow.
But going back to EA, like I remember seeing those pictures I was telling you about earlier about seeing all the stock left over,
Yeah.
and part of me actually feels really bad, and not for EA themselves, but for the guys
For
that had
DICE.
to work. Yeah,
DICE
exactly. The
worked
guys
on
that
the
had to
game.
work on that game.
The
They
people who
made
make
an excellent
Battlefield.
game. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
It's
And-
tarnishing. Yeah, like it's tarnishing people that actually put work into it and that actually looks
well,
good.
See those guys that worked on this game, they're just like, all of us who work
Yeah.
at Walmart or any other job. They're just the peons. They're the ones.
Like,
putting
yeah,
in the
don't get
work.
mad at them for doing it.
Right.
It's 100%
Well,
EA
and-
saying, hey, we
Yeah.
need microtransactions.
And it's 100% EA catching all the shit, too,
Yeah.
because they made
Mhm.
this decision.
And on top of that, EA is the ones that are like, okay, we fucked up. You guys are getting fired. That's how.
That's
Yeah,
how it
yeah,
happens.
businesses work.
yeah.
Somebody
that
takes the blame
makes
and
me
gets
so
fired,
sad.
always. And you never know if it's actually that person.
Which is why they need to just fucking shoot all those people that are higher up and just bring the people who actually worked on the game or know what they're doing.
Shoot.
Shoot
No,
them.
because people that work
Shoot
in
them dead.
the people that own EA are businessmen. They're not game makers,
Right.
game lovers. Some of them aren't. Like
What's
it's
his
just
face? I think he's like
business.
46, 47. And he's talking about how he really only played a lot of Nintendo games back then, but really doesn't know anything else.
Yeah,
about it.
he's about growing his market, growing his business. And he just bring in like advisors that say, yeah, people like loot boxes. See, I told you guys, making money. I'm business. That's why I'm a millionaire and you only make like $2,000 a year.
They tell people to do this, do that. You've
Careful.
you've played Star Wars. Just make something Star Warsy, and then they just go back to the fucking office.
Just
That's
just
another thing that EA
make
is
Star
bothering.
Wars and then put some loot boxes in it. Yeah,
That's another thing EA is bothering me about. I was like, no, we're not gonna really make anything. We're just gonna focus on a bunch of Star Wars IPs. I don't give a fuck about Star Wars that goddamn much. It's not that fucking great of an epic story. It's
So-
not.
But the silver lining, just kind of thinking about this, the silver lining in all this, non-AAA games, independent developers, the guys that were when EA and DICE started back when they first started, or when they first came up, those type of developers now are becoming more popular, and those games are becoming more popular.
Yep.
Hellblade is a good example.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most sold game on PlayStation Store for like a month.
Surprisingly, that was
Month or two.
Ninja Theory too.
Yeah, Ninja Theory, and
They did it right.
yep,
It's good.
they did a really good job. And companies like that are in the limelight now. They're actually making unique,
The indie
fun games that
developers.
don't have any crazy producers or whatever telling them what to do. They're releasing a good game, and they will start to make more
the way
money
they
now.
want to.
That makes more sense. Bigger businesses kind of like try to mooch off money, but then you have indie developers from like Stardew Valley, PUBG, all those other
Yep.
indie devs. Just
PUBG is way too overrated, in my opinion. It's way too overrated.
Well, they invented their archetype that now is used all the time,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
get it.
it's like one of the best games.
It's a new
I
thing
get
that
it.
no one's.
Yeah, I get it.
See,
I get
you know,
it. I just, in my
100
opinion,
people put them in an open world battlefield and see what the fuck happens.
It,
Yeah.
it makes
People-
for some hilarity.
Yeah, people
No,
love
it's
new.
good.
People love new things.
It's
You
good.
know.
It's overrated.
You don't like that type of game.
No, it's not just that. I just think that there's shit in there that people lose their fucking minds over. That is just, you need to chill with it.
Yeah,
what?
like super.
Well, I mean, King of the Hill or King of the Kill had it before PUBG did it, and PUBG popularized
The
it.
PUBG guy made King of the Hill, King of the Kill. He
But-
branched off and
That
made his
doesn't
own
mean
thing.
that
I think
PUBG doesn't
he
need to
made
be
his own
overrated.
Well,
same for
it's,
DayZ.
It's popular because it's a good game.
DayZ as well.
It's done way too well.
See,
it's
even
way
though-
too big to be the technology that's out now. The fact that it's successful and not really that glitchy is incredible.
Yeah,
Like it's like how, and it's huge. The world's huge. Like the map is huge.
If
I know
you
they
just
contain it, but
if you just make a good game, a base game that actually fucking works,
and it's unique.
Yep. It's unique. No one else has done it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a hit.
It'll be good. It'll be good. Yeah.
Every time.
It'll be a
But
fucking hit.
it's not always going to be for everybody. Like
No, of course not.
And
Just like Ark isn't for everybody, you know.
Yeah.
why are you looking at me?
It wasn't directed at you.
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's
Ark,
okay.
I mean,
it's okay, but I mean,
they started out indie, didn't they?
they also had Survival of the
Yes.
Fittest in that too.
They
It was
still
a
are.
arena-based.
That game's fucking
Pretty much
very,
is a
very
giant
popular.
survival of the fittest game. You think about it,
which-
so you can keep going.
I
But
think-
shit,
I mean,
like it gets in PvP servers. It gets pretty.
Yeah,
No,
pretty
the
much.
thing-
But no,
the
they
thing
actually had like. An
I don't
arena that
understand about
Oh, really?
shrank down.
about Ark though. Is it's so popular, but it's such a shitty game. You know what I'm saying?
I will throw you out the window.
No, hey, let's all be honest. That game's got fucking problems.
Oh yeah.
yes, it does.
But
Like that's why I was like thinking of PUBG. Like
Yeah, no,
they
I
should
get
be
I was
more
kidding,
glitchy.
by the
Like
way.
Ark's
I
such
get
a
it.
huge game, and the way the coding works, it's like how does this game not just implode on itself? You know?
Right?
It's like how do they code this?
serious.
It's the same with PUBG. Like games just that big on. I know that's on PC, but it's coming to Xbox One. It's coming to consoles, so it's possible for
It's
them
coming
to
to
code that.
PS4. It'll
But it's
come to
like-
PS4.
Like how does a little computer like that run all that
Yeah.
stuff? You know, it's just nuts. The technology.
I will say
pretty good.
I don't play Ark, but I even myself I can tell that the game's
Why it would be
improved a
addicting.
lot. Well, no,
Oh,
I
why-
like that.
okay.
It has improved a lot. Alex yells a lot less at the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot of yelling, but it seems like it's improved massively.
Mostly-
Since the last
mostly-
time we played, oh, for
Well,
sure.
because there was
Mostly it's
a
because
lot more.
so much bad shit happens at once.
It's Ark.
Well, yeah, you can
Just
you can
leave it-
literally
that's
be.
what we say,
You
it's
literally, you're
hard talk.
literally okay, and then you get stuck in a rock, and something kills you and all your tames, and comes into your real life and murders your family, and then goes back into the game and shuts off your
That's
PS4.
what it feels like. Yeah.
We're like,
It shuts
what?
off your PS4. Why?
When that
I was
happens-
okay.
Yeah, when that happens, I fear for Alex's table down there because
Yeah.
I've never seen him hit a table that hard. He was like, "Fuck!"
I was stuck in a rock for the
Oh,
sixth
it
time in a
was-
row.
oh my
I was just
God.
like,
And that's why you put that on there.
I'm just
Oh,
I'm
man.
just sitting over here playing a game like,
I know. I
yeah.
came
Nick's-
back.
It's funny because Nick literally is silent over there. He's just like, okay, try not to pay attention.
well, I'm
mostly
You
try
had
not
your
to
headphones
laugh.
on. You
Yeah,
couldn't hear.
I remember. I came back in. I was like, "Why is there a fucking random ass thatch
Yeah,
foundation
she asked
here?"
that. I was like, oh yeah, Alex put that there.
I was like,
because
You're welcome.
I did not want to be here.
You're welcome.
"You're welcome."
I had to hit a T-Rex that was driving because he literally walked past me. I'm like looking at him like, eat me! It's like I threw a pike at him and it hit him and he's like, and then he came over and ate me.
I was there. It was pretty funny.
And then like literally like an hour later, Josh gets on. We try to kill something, and I'm like looking on the cliff, and I fall into it again. I'm like, you gotta be kidding!
And so I kick him out of the tribe, and then I fucking knocked him out,
Yep.
and then
I'm glad you could let me back in right
That
away.
seems a little harsh.
You're
Josh.
banished forever.
well, I knocked him out and I drug his body out.
Yeah, it's kind of funny the way you see it too, because you don't actually grab him. Like the animation is just like my body floats and just follows him around. So it's like all freaking out.
I remember when you were trying to get those
That's funny.
hyenas in that little barricade thing,
Yeah,
and I thought the hyena was actually jumping up and attacking you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that looks so bad.
yeah.
And then I realized after that he was actually picking it up and trying to drop it in
Yeah.
there. He's like, "Fuck!"
Yeah, I kept
Pretty
missing,
funny.
and it would run away and start attacking the wall on the other side in the ocean. It's hard.
I think you have to
Ark.
use stone for
Yeah.
taming pits, otherwise they damage them.
Yep.
That's why they go for the doors in taming pits, because they can damage the door.
Dicks.
Yeah,
Pretty smart, actually.
yeah, it's pretty. The game can be pretty damn
I
fantastic.
mean, overall, all games are gonna have hiccups like that.
yeah,
But it's a
yep,
fun game.
all in all. Yeah,
You got thousands and thousands of people online on Ark every day.
Mhm.
PUBG even more.
PUBG, yeah. I mean, there's gonna be shit in there that's not going to be good with any game. You know, there's going to be something wrong.
Yep.
But
yeah, okay. So I was going to talk about. I was waiting for the Greeks. I was going to talk about Xenoblade. Xenoblade.
I was going to talk about Xenoblade. Good time. Good time.
I love that.
Cannot wait for it.
It's out
It's
today.
it's out.
Yep, it's out.
November 4th.
I still have to wait.
It's got good fucking reviews.
It's got good
I
reviews.
want to play so
like
bad.
most like the main what I was going to talk about is yes, Xenoblade Chronicles is really good and like a really good game. Just look at it as a game, it's really good. Like some of the side game sites, kind of like ours, I'm sure in the future when I review it, will have higher scores because it's a good JRPG game. But some of the mainstream sites that just get, I don't know where these guys, they have them go play this game, and you can tell by reading their articles. I won't name them off in specific, but the mainstream ones, I'm sure maybe everyone will know what we're talking about.
We know which ones.
Yeah. The way they review their game is like, oh my god, this is so fun. I like it. I like this. I like this. I like this. But then they proceed to name off a list.
Cash grab.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we'll pay you as long as you talk good about our game.
No, but this is it. Like the one mainstream site rated it like a 7.5 out of 10. And that's okay. I mean, that it's like their title for that is great. It's a great game. But it should be larger than that because they discredit it for stuff that are particularly pertaining to JRPG stuff, like the complexity of combat systems. They downgrade a game for that because the combat system is not simple enough. It's too complex, but that's what makes a JRPG most of the time.
Then if you make it simple, and then people complain how
it wouldn't be a popular JRPG. Like if you talk to anybody who likes JRPGs, Xenoblade Chronicles is the pinnacle of that most of the time. With some other games, and something with the gear system, like people are so spoiled with the gear systems and like every other game now that now Xenoblade Chronicles stuff is too complex. Their gear system is too complex, and the stuff you get from the complexity is too basic. Like literally, they're just attacking everything a JRPG has ever been. And it's like, where did you get this guy? Did he play Nintendo his whole life and just decide one day, oh, this is a Nintendo game, I'm going to play this. Oh, this isn't Mario. What the?
Yeah,
so that's what it seems like with some of these mainstream companies.
They base it off of like what that one person has played and completely throw.
Well, Assassin's Creed, if you kill this guy, you get a poison weapon. So this doesn't have it. So it's.
I've played World of Warcraft for 15 years. What is this single player shit?
I don't. You can't kill an orc. What the hell?
There's no orc.
I'm not playing it.
How come I can't use sword?
That's why they need to diversify more of their employees.
I feel like they try to be too critical of the little things that make JRPGs fun half the time.
Yeah.
Like it would be boring. That Xenoblade Chronicles would be boring minus maybe the story if you had simple combat systems, simple gear systems, simple everything. Complexity is fun for some people. That's why some people play Bloodborne and Dark Souls. Complexity is simple. Complexity is simple. Complexity is simple. But complexity is fun.
You're fired.
Where did we get this guy?
Mario this, Mario that.
A good example of a game that's really fun because it's complex is a little game called Resonance of Fate. If anybody has played that, they realize it's very fucking hard to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's a gun-based JRPG where you don't actually like. Well, I guess you do kind of aim, but it's really really hard to describe in words. You really got to see it, but it's very very difficult, and it takes a lot of just playing through the game just to figure it out. But once you figure it out, it is a blast. And I could see someone being like, "This is too hard. Oh, I'm gonna give it a lower score." You know, that kind of thing. Maybe not giving it the score it deserves because of that. But no, yeah.
I know what you mean because I know it's not necessarily a JRPG, but like when the first Dark Souls came out, there was quite a bit of gaming companies or gaming reviewers that are like, "This is way too tough. This is why we're giving it a lower score."
Yeah,
like, isn't that the whole point of the?
At the beginning.
Well, a lot of it too was they were new. kind of newer to that type of
To
gameplay.
hardcore
Because they had Demon
gameplay.
Souls, but they were kind of
Prepare to die.
Prepare to die, yeah.
Tagline.
Well,
but-
Dead Space is kind of the same way when you think
they were
about
attacking the
it.
combat
It came out
system.
before Dark Souls, didn't it?
Yeah, but Dead Space is a shoot 'em. To kill the enemy, you have to detach limbs. It's not really a kind of. There wasn't really any exploration in that game. In Dark Souls, you're kind of in a wondrous state, kind of like, oh, what's kind of over here? What does this enemy do? And you have to learn.
Well,
from that.
enemy-wise and horde-wise, I mean, when you get hit, it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the main
on the
focus...
harder difficulties in Dead Space, definitely that. I platinumed too. I'm trophy whore, but one of the hardest mode. It's not impossible. I can't remember what it's called, but you only get 3 saves throughout the entire game. So you have to go from chapter 1 to 7, and then 7 to 9 or something like that, and then 9 to 12. I can't remember how many chapters are in there. But you save at 12, and you have to make a beeline. You have to do shit
ridiculous
to a T to survive. Like you go here, you shoot this, you lay this here, you wait. He runs into it, and everything has its place and does things in a certain way. In Dark Souls, the enemy AI still kind of like where are you, and just kind of runs off instead of like with Dead Space.
But see,
this guy's always going to come around this corner.
That's when, like I said, like a lot of the time people thought like, oh, it's too hard. That's why we're giving it a lower score, which is bullshit because that's how
Bularchy.
Well, the game was ahead of its time.
Well,
because of the way the controls
was...
weren't there to dodge correctly, and the optimization, like the way they wanted their combat system to work, they could not do it like they did in Dark Souls 3. It was very fluid. But Dark Souls 1 is clunky as hell.
Even still today,
Different
like people know, a lot of the hardcore players like, oh, this is a Dark Souls. Like, this is exactly like a Dark Souls. This is exactly like Bloodborne. But even there's still people out there, like even when Bloodborne came out, they were saying it's too tough. There were some fucking game reviewers that were saying it was too tough.
Yeah, they're saying it's too tough because you could not block.
It's like it pretty much came from the same fucking people that made Dark Souls.
It's exactly the same people that made Dark Souls 1.
That's the whole point. Like even after that, man, like people were still complaining about it. It's just how it's gonna fucking be. Like with the JRPGs, like people were made, well, this isn't like the other game I played.
And hold your hand. So
yeah, it's
this game has a tutorial. 1 out of 10.
What popularized Dark Souls was Demon Souls came out and it was a PlayStation exclusive, and fantastic game. And then Dark Souls came out and it was multi-plat, so it got in the hands of some Xbox gamers, and they're the ones who pretty much spread the word. Then 2 came out and it spread even more, and then they came out with a remaster for both, and then 3 came out, and since PlayStation's a more dominant console this time around, it's on Bloodborne is on there, and then Dark Souls is on both because it's been on both kind of thing. They don't want a parity between it. That's how Dark Souls got so popular. That, and because of the difficulty, people started getting wise.
Yeah, well, some people like a hard game. I mean,
well, they like people as
love
much as they complain. They like to be challenged.
Yeah.
They just don't think about it. They I like to get this and I like to do that because it's easy, but if you don't work for it, it's not fun. You're not getting that risk reward chemical reaction in your brain.
And I think
that's why we play games.
I think a lot of the time with like certain people reviewing certain games, like you said, I mean, if I'm just if Nick here is like just a straight up fighter guy, he loves fighting games, and he's sitting here reviewing Ark or Minecraft.
Give him your World War II, Call of Duty World War II.
I mean, you're obviously going to say a lot of fucking like, I don't like this because you're more of a fighter.
I don't like it because it's World War II.
That's what they're. That's
my
what
grandpa
doing.
fought World War II,
and it makes me sad when I think about this game.
That's
Did you just assume my grandpa's gender?
No, I didn't even mention gender.
No, I know. You said grandpa.
What am I supposed to say? Grandma?
Grandparent.
It's pa with an A?
Grandparent. Yep.
Grandman.
Can't believe you just
grandwoman.
Transgender.
Transgender. Transgender. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I mean, you're obviously not going to review a game like you would a fighter game. You're gonna say a lot of negative things because you don't play those kind of games.
Well, I wouldn't say negative things.
You would find it bad.
I wouldn't be able to
Understand.
I wouldn't be able to understand as much as a person that plays shooters as much as to why this game works so well or why people like it so much.
Which is why they need to diversify more of their employees on.
Well, they do, but it's hard to find a guy who's a nerd like us and still be able to write a good review.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know, maybe their system works differently, where they have a guy that plays it. Here's my thoughts. Now write it.
Well, it's just like throwing someone who strictly plays Nintendo into a PlayStation only game.
Yeah,
I mean, what's going to happen?
Well, I mean, in the end, it really comes down to the fact that it's just that person's opinion.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and
Exactly.
you know, he's not always going to like.
When you're part of a company, though, you're representing the company's opinion.
Right, and it's that company themselves that actually go in the end say, okay, yeah, you can put that out.
Editors and publishers.
Mm-hmm. And so
Copyright guys.
I don't think as a whole the company doesn't pay attention though. That's the thing.
Well, no,
they're not going to pay attention to every single fucking review that comes out. You think they pay attention to every single demo playtest? Why do you think there's like glitches and fucking shit games?
Right,
but
it's different when it comes to this stuff because it's written. You know what I mean? They
even the video review has to. They have to make sure there's no copyright. They have to make sure there's no cuss words, no nudity. Like that, if they're a company, big company, you're representing your company no matter what you're doing. You have to make sure. I mean, even they have guys that probably watch the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and make sure nothing bad happens or they shut that crap down. Thanks everybody for listening to this week's podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Nick.
I'm JR.
I'm Josh. Way over here.
That's Stretcher.
He's on a stretcher now.
Be sure to like, subscribe, check out our website, maybe give Nick a personal call, whatever you want.
Yeah,
He's up for conversations.
Leave everything down the link, including his
personal cell phone number. 86759. Anyways, that's a song.
Call me.
Yes.
Especially
call Nick. He's single. Oh my god. Hey, no, you just assume genders over here. We talked about this earlier.
Dang it.
God damn, it takes a lot to
themselves.
If you're a grandma and
kind of went, oh,
damn it, I messed up again.
Okay, don't call Nick because apparently
Thank you.
He doesn't know what to say.
Kind of why I chose.
Thanks again for listening to this week's Sincast.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Say bye, Josh.
See you.